Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope you are well wherever you are, whatever the damn time. Welcome back to another YouTube video. It's actually quite late in the morning, not my typical early start to the YouTube video, but that's because I've been doing my typical morning routine. So it's 10:15 this morning. I'm just about to have meal number one, but I thought I'd give you a bit of an insight as to what I've done so far this morning whilst meal one heats up. Got up this morning, responded to messages that came in overnight and late last night from clients.
Good morning, guys. So this is it on me now? Yeah. So on the top we've got a muscle fit.
Had to get back to clients this morning. Vacuum work was done, abdominal work, mobility, all of that stuff. And came downstairs, hydrated, got water in, took supplements, and then I done my cardio this morning. And actually, this was the first cardio session that I've done since being unwell. I was unwell last week, and I took a week off from the gym. So I was off the gym from, Tuesday until Monday. So I had that time off because I just wasn't going to force the issue, and I feel like I timed it really well. It was a really good session on Monday, really good session yesterday as well, which was a push day. Yeah, I had that time off, but I done my first cardio session because I ended up getting a chest infection. I've got one more day of antibiotics left today, but I pretty much feel normal. I've just got like a little cough going on. And here we are for meal number one, which is this right here. So we got mince and rice for meal number one. It's going to be 340 grams of rice cooked weight. We've got 130 grams of mince and 85 grams of veg, sprouts, and cauliflower. So today's going to be a rest day, but I'm going to take you throughout the day for my meals, and also I've got to do a couple of things. I'm also getting a delivery today from Full Ball Sports, which will be my first athlete package. So I want to give you a bit of a run through for the products. They've also put in a new product that they've made themselves called Stress Less. So it's basically a stress product, which I'm intrigued to try because it has quite a few ingredients that are quite new, I think, to the supplement game and quite rare. So that should be coming a little bit later. Just about to make meal number two. Let me make sure this is on. I had a consult call as well with a guy from Finland who is actually currently in South Korea, which is pretty cool. Meal number two is going to be eggs, bacon medallions with some bread, and then also we've got an apple, Granny Smith apple, alongside 10 grams of hot honey. That's going to be put into like a baguette. So that's going to be the meal, and then I need to head out and actually grab my mum's gift for her birthday. But one of the things that I actually wanted to speak about, and I thought about this because I just got off of a call, and it's coming up to January, which is typically very busy for coaches because people are looking for coaches. People are looking to start the new year with being mindful about their physique or health, fitness, whatever the case. You know how it gets in January. And I think a lot of people sometimes struggle to know which coach to go for, or how do you even know who's going to be a good coach, because there's so many in the space right now. And I'd be lying if I said that the average coach is very good at their job. I think there's a lot of coaches that are just coaching because it's kind of something to do, and that's obviously somebody who you don't want to have coaching you. So how do you actually find a coach who is good at their job? And this by no means is me plugging my own coaching service. Whether you go with me as your coach or somebody else, this isn't the point of me speaking about this. Is more so that you know the criteria for somebody who's a good coach. So I think first and foremost, it's going to be results. Is that person actually posting results or exhibiting that they can get you the result that you're after? If you are trying to get into stage condition, has that person shown that they can get people in that condition? This might sound obvious, but it's really easy just to put your opinion out on social media about whatever, and make content to just try and get attention and sound very knowledgeable. But ultimately, that doesn't really matter if you haven't got the result. So I think first and foremost is results. And if you want to go deeper, actually message the people that they're posting on their page and ask that client what it's like to work with that person. Because again, a lot of the time a result can be posted. How did they get to that result? What was the experience like? What was the care like? What position are you in currently? Did you get that result after 16 weeks and then things just went to shit because there was just no care post-diet or whatever the case may be? It gives you a deeper insight into what it's like working with that person. So numero uno is results. The next most important thing, again, I don't think is knowledge that that person is putting out on social media. I actually think it's what is that person doing with their own process. So if that person is an active competitor or they're actively pursuing an achievement in a sport, is that person getting better? Or is that person an inconsistent human being? Because if somebody's inconsistent in something that they enjoy doing, I think that says a lot about their character. Again, it's really easy to speak on YouTube or on Reels about your morning routine or about how badly you want something, but if the results are not there, it doesn't matter because clearly you're not doing something. So I think honestly the most important thing after that is that person walking the walk and actually doing what they say that they're doing, which is very important to have as a coach, in my opinion. If you are looking for a new coach, I think those are things that you should be looking out for on social media because it's a minefield out there. I'm going to be real. 3 eggs, 4 bacon medallions, 90 grams of this bread, an apple, hot honey. Typically with this meal, I'd have a tortilla wrap or just some normal bread or a bagel. That would basically be my carb source now. And then I'd also have 20 grams of carbs from fruit. I'm just gonna have 1 apple and then also make up the rest of the carbs from honey. So that's gonna be meal number 2. Because I haven't actually done this week's food shop, so I'm having to make some slight adjustments. I also ran out of protein. So that delivery is coming today. The DHL have said that it's going to arrive this evening. So my last 2 meals of the day are going to be my cream of rice meal and my oats meal, which I've missed so much. Like, you know, when you just get that like flavor fatigue, I miss having something sweet as a meal. Anyway, I'm going to show you the meal once it's ready and then we'll go from there. So there's a full meal. It is 90 grams of baguette with 4 medallions, 3 whole eggs, 1 Granny Smith, 10 grams of hot honey. That's the meal. And then for the rest of the day, it's just a case of editing some content. The latest podcast is also coming out. The Unassisted podcast this evening. And we discussed about binging and managing just when you go off plan. And I think it was a good time to do it because a lot of people are post-show at the minute. A lot of people are struggling with that. So we just give some tips and tricks about going off plan and how you respond to clients when that inevitably happens. Like it's going to happen. It's part of the process of a contest prep and managing people who prep. So yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, I'm going to get this down. I'm going to enjoy it. I'll see you in a little while. We got our first athlete order from Full Ball Sports. So I'm going to unbox it and show you what I got, but I'm excited because Rob has also mentioned that he left me a new product that's been released called Stress Less, which I'm excited to try out. It's the first Full Ball Sports product. So let's have a look. We also just got back from Sainsbury's, got the gift for the mumsy for her birthday. I can't reveal it because this video will come out before her birthday. I'm heading down south for an evening meal with her on the Friday. Anyway, let's get straight into this. I also have another delivery arriving tomorrow. Firstly, Dream Sleep, which is one of my favorite products when it comes to sleep. I definitely notice a difference when I don't have this in play. I feel like I can just get a little bit more of a deep sleep. I don't wake up as much throughout the night. Not only that as well, but this also contains ashwagandha. So I don't have to buy a separate ashwagandha product. Major key for me. You've then got vitamin D3 and K2 for immune health, and also because we don't get enough sunlight in the UK. It is the winter months, so I think that this is an essential product. Trained by JP, highest quality possible. You also want to make sure that you get your vitamin D with the K2 as well to ensure that it's absorbed properly, and you don't end up getting calcium deposits in your arteries and your blood vessels. Basically, it's actually the one I was most excited about because I haven't had protein in a while. I've been waiting to get this order. I like having something sweet, so I like having this with like my oats and my cream of rice and whatnot. Trained by JP triple chocolate. I haven't actually had this flavor yet, so. And finally, we've got Stress Less by Full Bore Sports. It says a comprehensive stress response support to help support psychological function, cognitive function, tiredness, and fatigue reduction, protect cells from oxidative stress. I'm really excited to try this, and I'm going to give a full breakdown once I've spent some time actually using it. But yeah, with that being said, I'm about to have meal number 3, which is actually going to be some cream of rice with some of this. So let's get to making that. So meal number 3 is cream of rice, ground rice, 125 grams. And I've actually been craving this meal because I haven't had cream of rice in 4 or 5 days. 45 grams of whey. It is the Trained by JP triple chocolate with 20 grams of almond butter, 10 grams of a mix of seeds, so chia seeds, sunflower, pumpkin, and then we've got 100 grams of blueberries. So you're gonna get this in and then finish off a little bit more work, and that'll pretty much be the day. And then I head back down south on Friday. Next week is actually the Team Pal meetup, and we're going to be training at the Trained by JP gym, which I haven't been to yet. So that'll be interesting. I think it's only about 2 hours away as well, so it's not too bad to get there. I'll be staying in an Airbnb with Talib and Adam. I want to get this meal down, and I'll see you for meal number 4. Meal number 4 about to go down. It's going to be oats. Then my last meal is going to be chicken and rice, but this wouldn't be a December upload without going into how to manage Christmas. In the off season, it's a lot more simple because you're not restricting your food. And I found personally over the Christmas period, in an off season, when I'm deep in my off season, typically I'll actually end up losing weight because, let's say Christmas Day, for example, if I am not eating to my typical plan, if you just have a Christmas dinner, you're probably not going to be also eating your other meals throughout the rest of the day. And if food is already pretty high, you've only had like 2 decently sized meals throughout the day. I find that with myself and honestly a lot of clients as well, they drop weight. I think for most people, it's just a case of basically eating how you want over Christmas Day and Boxing Day, taking a couple of days to just chill out, be present, and then get back to it. I don't think there needs to be anything else on top of that. You're also in a period of time as well where there's not really any shows. People that will be prepping for next year, especially in natural bodybuilding, the earlier shows usually happen around May time. So your prep probably won't start until like January time or like late December, just after Christmas. I also think if you are at the start of your contest prep and it's Christmas, you should still be able to have a Christmas dinner. Like it's okay. Again, it's another one of those things where it's like, maybe it's a fault of my own, but one meal in that instance is just not going to make a difference. It only makes a difference if you basically splurge over the course of a week or a couple of weeks and you spend a long time off plan, right? But a couple of days, it's just not going to make a big difference. I mean, especially in an off season as well. So I definitely think just take those couple of days just to chill out if you want to, or if you want to still follow your plan, do. But don't feel like you have to sack off Christmas because you're a bodybuilder and you're just expected to eat your typical meals over that Christmas period, because it's not that deep, honestly. Maybe some people are surprised to hear me say that, but genuinely, for me, like Christmas Day, I'll still eat a couple of my normal meals, and I'll probably have like a couple of Christmas dinners, some dessert. That'll be me. Honestly, Boxing Day, I'll probably have like another portion of Christmas dinner, and then I'll also then probably just get back onto my normal meal plan because I like how I eat, right? And then that'll be me done. So I at this part of my off-season phase, it just won't make that big of a difference. And I think that's important to remember, guys. So there's some tips. I don't think you need to do anything drastic in terms of also like changing your water intake or watching your sodium or taking any supplements, taking GDAs, that sort of thing. Just take the day off if you want to. Don't take the day off if you want to. Just do what you want. Just don't make a decision that you will regret, because that's the most important thing. Actually doing what you want to do. Anyway, so this meal is going to be oats. Got and this protein is really good. Triple chocolate, it is nice. I was watching this podcast, the what's it? Flop Gear? Christian Chapman, Tim Stewart, and Jake. I think it's Jake AMP. I think, I'm sorry if I butchered that. He's not watching this video anyway. Really good podcast, and they're obviously really good coaches. And it got me thinking about something as well, an approach that I want to take more of when the next contest season is going on with my clients. And I've done it with a few of them, but I didn't do it for as long, right? And it's daily check-ins. There were a few people, or a couple, where I checked in with them daily for like the last 4 to 5 weeks. But I really like the idea of just checking in with somebody every day throughout the majority of a contest prep. The reason being is you just get so used to their physique. And I think maybe certain people don't need it, but I think it would help a lot of people in terms of stress management throughout prep to have their coach checking in every single day. It doesn't have to be Loom videos, but just photos. How you feeling? Let me see the look. Okay, this is the response when we've done this. And just having that daily communication. It's something that Chris Aceto does as well. It's something that Boss of Outlaw does. These people just check in with their prep guys every day. And I think there's more value in that than being the most knowledgeable coach ever. I think having the ability to develop your eye as a coach and have that communication with your athletes and be able to help people manage their stress, I think that's so much more valuable than just knowing everything. Like, knowing everything is great, but what do you get out of people? I think checking in daily with somebody would help that a lot. So I think that's something I'm definitely going to do. Next year, I've got 8 people on stage, and that'll definitely be, I think, something that I'll deploy with most of them, because there's quite a few first timers. And with the temperament of a few of them as well, I think just having that communication would be really good. A lot of people do get on well with, okay, do the check-in, we'll run this for 4 or 5 days, we'll check in again. And there's people that can work well off that, right? But I think a prep a lot of the time works really well when you're seeing things daily. And I think that's why it works really well with me coaching myself, because I would just make decisions on the day as to what I was doing. It was like, okay, this is the look. Yeah, I'm going to do this. This is the look today. How do I feel? Okay, what's the timeline like? We're going to do this. Okay, like daily changes if necessary. If necessary, obviously. Which I thought was interesting. But yeah, definitely check it out. Flop Gear, really good podcast. Also, store your almond butter upside down, and it stops it getting hard at the bottom. So we've got 10 grams of almond butter. Might actually use some raisins instead of blueberries. That means that it'll be 20 grams of raisins will be the equivalent. Right, let's show you this meal. 100 grams of oats with 30 grams of whey. We got 20 grams of raisins, 10 grams of almond butter, 10 grams of honey. Meal number 4. And I'm gonna enjoy this meal. Still eating the oats, still using a small spoon. I'm still very, very hungry. Honestly, look at my physique this morning. I've got like lines in my glutes still, and yeah, it's kind of wacky. But now I'm at a place where I really want to have a slow rate of gain, really slow, really, really slow. Because training is going really well. So I don't need to see big jumps in body weight at this point. Because how long can you do that, right? Before you just get fat. Hope you enjoy this meal and I'll see you for the last meal of the day. The final meal about to go down. And I'm watching the Joe Rogan podcast, right? With Jelly Roll. Mental. Guy, look, because I saw him, he posted a video with Cam Haines on Instagram. And I was thinking, wait, is that Jelly Roll? And he's lost 300 pounds. And like 10 minutes in, he's talking about how he went from, well, in 2022, he fluctuated between like 470 and 560 pounds, which is, I don't know that in kilos. That is over, yeah, that's easily over 200. My God, yeah, I think it's like 230. It's just absolutely crazy. And yeah, it's just insane that he even managed to stay alive for that long, because he started losing the weight at 39. And stuff like that always just makes me think the human body's just crazy. How can the body sustain itself? And it always makes me think, like, when I'm worried about certain things in my body or whatever, I'm like, well, the body's not that weak, like it's quite resilient. It's just, yeah, crazy. Stuff like that's always motivating. I don't want to say motivating, more so just, I think it's nice to hear stories like that, because I think that change for somebody like that, who's that big, is markedly better than like me going from like a bulk to a carb, like through a prep. Like that transformation will add like years to his life. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna have this last meal, which is actually gonna be chicken and rice to finish course. So it's 340 grams of rice that's cooked weight. And then we've also got, I'm gonna add some broccoli just now, but it's 100 grams of veg that's cooked weight. And then we've got 100 grams of pineapple, 175 grams cooked weight chicken. And that's gonna be the last meal. I'm gonna finish this meal, head to bed. I appreciate you watching another video. Make sure you leave it a like. I'll see you next time.